What's up, my people? This is Dated, a show that investigates love. Your boy Danny back once again. It's cold in New York, but it's getting a little bit warmer. It's enough for like a nice walk in the park. I'm getting a lot less "Are you up?" texts. I'm getting a lot less "I'm snowed in." Like that's kind of that part of the winter. I think is behind us. But anyways, my guest today is I'm a fan of hers. You might have seen her on Power. You might have seen her on the Jimmy Fallon show. You might have seen her on Hulu. You might have seen her. I've seen her at the gas station once in LA. Anyways, my guest today is very hilarious, Brandy Denise. What's going on?
Hey, how are you? How are you? How are you? Thank you. I have seen you at the gas station. You know, people be getting gas.
Yeah, you got to. It's a very, very LA thing. Was that somebody? Is that somebody? Do I know that person? And then you do the whole awkward. Like, do you say something? Do you not say something? I don't know. Anyway, I think you said something. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
But I like to start these podcasts. The first question I usually like to ask is, "What's your first memory of love?" It can be family, it can be TV, it can be somebody you loved. Your first memory of love.
Dang, it made me feel bad if I start when I was like 16. But no, I'm trying to think like I know, right? The first thing that's come, I'm sure things happened before this, but I remember my mom and my dad they were separated or divorced. They were divorced at this point, but I remember my dad came over to hang out with me and my sister, and we had a picnic on the floor in the kitchen. And I don't know why, but that memory always stands out to me. And I was probably like 4. My sister might have been 2. And I just remember him. I don't know. I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. It was a picnic in the kitchen on the floor.
Because he was like away, then he came back? Or was it like the special day of it?
No, I just felt like the fact that he had planned in my little 4-year-old mind, it was a whole plan, and it was such a fun thing to do with my dad. He would sit on the kitchen floor with my dad. He don't sit on the kitchen floor, you know. So I just remember it being very special to me, and I remember him coming because we were at my godmother's house, and my parents were in the military, so I'm sure he was stationed somewhere else and just stopped by to see us. And I remember when he came and he saw us, I just remember it being such a big deal to me, and we put a blanket on the floor, and like I don't know. Maybe he had an outside picnic planned and it rained. I have no idea why we did it in the kitchen on the floor. But I do remember being excited to see him and really excited about having this kitchen on the picnic floor. Because then we had put like chairs up around and kind of built like a fort in the kitchen on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did it ever happen again or no? Was that like a thing, a recurring vibe?
It wasn't a thing. It was just he was there. You know, he's been a part of my life, but that was just one of the things that really kind of it's like crazy because it's like that moment just came back to me and I just remember being like so happy.
So the military thing, I moved around a lot. I went to 3 different high schools between Ohio,
where in Ohio?
Cincinnati.
Okay.
Cincinnati. And then I graduated high school in Jacksonville, Florida.
Duval.
Yeah, Duval. Yeah, real close, but not quite Duval. A lot of niggas claim Duval, and they live not in Duval. Like, Duval is like a part of Jacksonville.
That's me. I'm like I'm in Nassau County. It's a whole nother county.
Exactly. That's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's like so far away. But how many schools did you go to growing up? Was it like a bunch? Or was it like
not high
you spend the most time?
I only went to one high school, but I would say from the time I was 4. If I can't even think off the top of my head, I would probably say 6. One time I was 4 to probably like 10.
And then you landed in Nassau County, like Florida, or where was like the last spot that you kind of like, this is my home where I either go home back to now as an adult or like this is the crib?
It was Nassau County, Florida, right outside of Jacksonville, a little small country town, Hilliard.
I never really went west of like Jacksonville. I never like Gainesville. I never went to FAM. I never did the Tallahassee run.
You wildin'.
I got out of there.
You wildin'. That's the best part of it.
I had a lot of homies. that went to like FSU, of course, or like was it TCC? Tallahassee
Community College.
Yeah. So when did Chicago come into play? Like after you went to FAMU?
No, my mother's from Chicago, and so I went to school in Chicago as well, younger.
Okay.
And then we spent a lot of time there growing up, and so I went to like first grade there. We spent a lot of time there, and we spent our summers there, and it's just like a second home. It's a second part of me, and then I moved there after graduation and to be closer to my other side of the family, my grandfather and things like that. And so I stayed there as an adult for 7 years. But Chicago's always been a constant in my life. Even when we left Germany, we went to Chicago for a year and then went somewhere else. And then we would go to Chicago, then we would go somewhere else. And then we ended up in Florida.
Yeah, I had a cousin's uncle that was in the military, and they did the Germany thing. But I skipped over FAMU. So FAMU, HBCU experience. I didn't go to a HBCU. I went to Elon. Very extremely fucking white experience. But what was that like? Were you in mostly like predominantly white schools growing up? And I was like, I want to be here. Like, what was the decision process of deciding FAMU? Because I know when I was coming through, I was in a different space. But for you, what was it like? I want to go to FAMU specifically, or was there something else that tied into it?
I knew I wanted to go to a historically Black college. I felt like I probably had a good sense of self at a young age. I remember I told my mom that I had always been around white people, and I felt like to be an equally yoked or evenly balanced person, that I needed to go be around Black people. I remember I was like 16 when I told my mama this, and I was like, I need to go to a historically Black college. So we set up the tour. We went. I fell in love, and it was such a turning point for me because, I mean, I went to school with white people all the time, and even in my graduating class, I think it was only 5 Black people, and it was such a turning point. And like even being in pageants and everything I did, I was always the only Black girl. And so it was a really big turning point for me because I had never seen Black people excel at the level that they did in my real life. And it was like to go into these spaces, and like you have like Barack came to my school probably 3 times when I was in college. I saw Michelle speak. Yeah. People from my college were a part of his cabinet, and to see these things, and then also going to HBCU, they implemented Blackness, African experience. They implemented that in everything, whether it was from statistics to economics to mathematics to biology. They implemented something about like Blackness within the thing. Can I read something with you? Because I actually shared this today because it is Black History Month. I put this on my Instagram today. So it was a meme that said 4 years at a HBCU can undo 13 years of damage done from kindergarten through 12th grade.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw you posted that. Yeah, but I see that. I mean, yeah, go ahead, finish.
And I wrote, this is what I wrote. I wrote a lesser known Black history fact about me growing up in different states and even being beginning school in Germany. There was a constant unspoken pressure to shrink myself or assimilate to white culture. That pressure was loud. Attending an HBCU was healing for me. It kind of it made me be like comfortable in my skin and and it was okay to be who I am.
I'm curious because I went to a lot of white schools growing up in high school, and then went to college white school, but I played football, but then I also am an alpha. So like I was around a lot of Black shit, and we would travel, we go to A&T, I very much lived a Black experience. But that first experience at a HBCU, FAMU, did you feel like when it came to dating, you were like seeing not maybe for the first time, but like it opened up a new doors of like, we all look the same. I'm seeing people and I'm getting maybe more love or less love, or like what happened when that kind of happened, like freshman year pulling up on camera?
I had never seen so many Black men and fine Black men and Black men that were educated before. But before that, I had always dated Black men. I mean, it might only been 5 around, but I dated 4.
I'm about to say, it wasn't. How many were around?
Yeah. So, I know even dating in high school and stuff, I dated guys who went to different schools who lived in nearby cities. Okay. It wasn't always just like, it wasn't a lot of people in my school. I think I only had one boyfriend in my high school, and other than that, it was like ones who lived in nearby cities or went to other schools. But the first time I dated a white man was my senior year at FAMU.
Really?
But I did have a
fam?
crush on a white boy in high school, but we never dated. But me and him used to talk on the phone sometimes. And it was so funny because I remember it was such a weird thing. Because I remember I don't know if I got his number from somebody else or he gave it to me. I don't remember what it was, but he sat by me in biology. His name was Brandon Kornacki, R.I.P. He passed away.
Shit.
But I remember, he passed away when we were younger. I remember, I don't know how I got his number, but I called him. His father was like the whole town's chiropractor, so everybody knew him. And I used to go to his dad to get my physicals and stuff. And I remember I called him, and we just like sat on the phone because it wasn't like, oh, I like you. It was just like, oh, Brandy's calling. It was just like, oh, hey. And then I remember we probably talked on the phone maybe 3 or 4 times. But I remember one time I called and he played on his guitar, Blackstreet, Don't Leave for me.
Did he sing it or did he just?
He didn't sing it. He just played it. He was like, I've been working on this song. You want to hear it? I'm like, yeah. It was like, we were like 15 and it was just like, he played it and I was like, okay, cool. And then we might have talked on the phone one more other time. And then the thing is, we used to sit by each other in biology class. So I didn't know if he looked at me as a friend, but I had a crush on him. But our teacher ended up separating us because we would not stop like cracking jokes and making fun of everybody.
I mean, I feel like Don't Leave Me Girl is...
Yeah, when he played that, I got the heart flutters. I was like, I think Brandon might like me.
Was he like a John B. white boy? Like, what was his vibe? Like, what was your white boy type?
He blonde hair, blue eyes. He was a pole. But the thing was, he was kind of a skater boy. He was a little alternative. He had a little, what I'm saying? His hair wasn't cut the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
But white boy type, I don't have a white boy type. I don't think I have a black man type. I don't have a type. I just like what I like.
Really?
Yeah. As long as you're like, relatively in shape, that is a thing. Because I used to not care about that, but now as I've gotten older, fitness has become such a big deal to me. It's just like, I can't be with somebody. You're going to enable me. I'm going to stop caring. If you don't care, you're going to be like, girl, you fine. And I'm a loser.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I mean, because you don't have to be the same type, but you eating chips in the morning and like, your vibe is off.
Literally, I got this, but I was going hard last night.
Really? What time are the shows?
The shows are at 7:30,
8 and 10?
7 and 9:30. But I was playing blackjack. 4 o'clock.
You're a gambler?
In the morning. Yeah, I just got good at it. It's like fun being the only girl at the table and like really knowing what the fuck you doing.
It's like Ocean's 11.
It was like guys like giving me chips and shit. This one man, oh my god, it was like this Mexican man. He was a little older. I got to know him. He was sitting next to me, and he like asked for my number. I was like, "You can follow me on social media or whatever." This man has FaceTimed me. FaceTime call
on Instagram.
I didn't respond. Then he sent me a message at like 6:30 and was like, "Brandy, I got tequila in my room," and sent me his room number. And he's clearly like 68. And then he messaged me again and was like, "Do you want to go to breakfast?" And I was like, "I think the friendly banter. I think he read that wrong."
Yeah. The thing is, when I think about guys that are super thirsty, it's got to work sometimes or else they wouldn't do it.
He was old as shit.
Yeah, I mean, but somebody be like, you know what? I need my rent paid a little bit sometimes. I'm assuming it works.
We had just talked about my special on Hulu. I'm not coming to your room to drink tequila with you at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Your rent's paid. Your rent's already paid. Yeah, that's funny. All right, going back to Chicago. And that's where you started comedy, right?
No, I started in Tallahassee, Florida, right after I graduated at the Comedy Zone, and then I started doing comedy at this club at this Black spoken word poetry night called Black on Black Rhyme. And they used to get up there with the soul of my insides and the insides of my soul, and he touched my deep divine, and I would get up there and then come in with the comedy. Yeah. Yeah,
big areola poems and shit. Jill Scott and head raps and shit.
Big areola poems is crazy.
That's okay. So, and like, what was it? Can you give us the story like the first time? Like, what was the catalyst to be like, I want to tell jokes? Like, what'd you major in college? Like, what was the start?
If I had to go back, it was always kind of there, I think. Like, this is probably my third time telling this story on the podcast. I'm trying not to repeat stories, but it's such a good one to me. The person who I think really piqued my comedy interest was Adam Sandler. Because I used to get these, like, whenever you could get a seat, they had a little piece of paper they would send it, and you could like mark off the CDs you want. I would tape a penny to it and send it to them, and they send me like 10 CDs.
Oh yeah.
And so that was so dumb of them. Why would they doing that? Right. And so one of them I had gotten was a bunch of like, Mace, Backstreet Boys, alternative music. And one of them I had gotten was Adam Sandler. I got 2 of his comedy albums, and I had never heard anything like that before in my life. And I remember listening to it and just, he made a whole song about pissing. And I was like, this is just so
Yeah.
And so then I started writing like parody songs. And I was like, maybe from like 11 to probably like 15, I was writing parody songs. I had a little notebook. I would like draw these characters and write little funny stories about their lives. And I never knew that's what I was doing. And then I don't know. I realized probably around like high school that I got out of a lot of trouble by just being funny.
Right.
And my teachers, like they never wrote me up. I was wilding. But
really?
It was like I had this, it was like I knew what to do to not be in trouble. It's just make them laugh.
Do you feel like ever being the new kid helped or hurted that? Like as either the mechanism or just like the benefit of the doubt type shit?
No, I think being the, as far as like when I don't really know if it played in, because that was when I was younger. I was being a new kid a lot. But I do think that is definitely instilled this outrageous amount of confidence in me. And to walk into a room and I think because we moved around so much and I always had to like make new friends and like reestablish myself, it got me really sharp at like observing people and seeing like what I had that would relate to them. And I think that's made my comedy really good because I could walk into a room, I could look at the room, I could look at the age, I could look at the demographic, I could look at the things that they're laughing at, and I'd be like, okay, these are the jokes that they want to hear. And and I felt like I learned that at a young age as a kid because I never went to new schools and was just like bullying people. It was like I always walked out with friends and shit, but it was like, oh, let me see who I like and what they like and if I like match with anybody.
Yeah,
I wasn't changing myself. I wasn't coming up with new personalities every time.
No, yeah, but you still have to like it's a little bit of finesse. Like it's I mean, for me, like Ohio to Jacksonville, Cincinnati to Jacksonville was like it felt like a different country.
Why
I was in middle school when I moved. Like especially black people. So in Ohio, I felt,
I don't even know why I said why. So Florida's a whole different, like, and not even Florida. But Jacksonville is different from Orlando. Yeah. Orlando's different from Miami. It's literally like, boy, what you talking about over there? You over there shipping? Ah, shit. Start talking like Boomhauser.
Literally, I'd never been around Haitian. I didn't know what a Haitian was. I didn't know none of that. Everybody thought I was African because I was darker because I was playing football. So I was like darker. I'm like, brother, I'm from Cincinnati. My granddad, like, I'm African American, yeah, but I'm not like my mama. It's like it's a different vibe. So I think from a social standpoint. I have a little bit more of a Southern drawl now from just being there and whatever, but from Ohio, it's like, dog, this is the way I talk. I'm not from like, you want to fight? I don't know what you want me to do. Like, that's not me type shit.
Do you want to fight? It's crazy.
Yeah. Cause they would try you, as a new black kid playing sports, you'll get tried a lot. Cause it's like, who is this nigga? And I'm like, I don't, whatever. But it did help going there, then going to a school in North Carolina. I think it did help my, like ability to understand people a lot more and being around with different races and shit like that. But all right, so Chicago, comedy in Chicago. I want to know who was like in your class or when you were starting out, who was like the people that were around. If people don't know, Chicago's like, my opinion, the best place to start stand up comedy.
That's why. That's where I
started.
Yeah.
Who was your class? Yeah.
We got Just Niche. We got T Murph. Josh Johnson.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What's
like white people? Like
I'm thinking about the white glitter, the white girl.
She's
Liza. A lot. Is that
Lisa Traeger?
Lisa Traeger. She's in there. We got Dave Hellam. I would say right now would be the biggest would be Josh Johnson, but we got Jeff Curie. Yeah. some heavy hitters came out of Chicago. From that class specifically, we were all at open mics together and hosting a comedy bar and fucking showcasing to get a spot at JFL. And like, I had some nights where I was out with Jeff Akiri to, 3-4 o'clock in the morning hanging out, and Josh Johnson, being on showcases with Josh, and, Kelly Howard, Jess Niche. I remember Jess Niche's kid was like 6 when we were starting. He's like graduating high school now.
She's like electric. I don't know her personally at all. I just seen her in random shit. I went to see her. I think I just started. I went to the promontory when me and my girl had went, and I was like, this is the funniest lady I've ever seen in my fucking life. She had that. She would do this thing where she would like talk with her hand on her head, like the microphone would be in her hand. She'd be like, this. It was just like such a What the fuck? Yeah. Talking about like Whole Foods or whatever. Anyways, what were the spots back then? Was that like Jokes and Notes, or what was the succession of comedy spots?
We had Jokes and Notes. We had it was a bar out in like Blue Island ran by Big Keith. We had Harold's Chicken Shack. Niche used to host Harold's Chicken Shack on Monday. Let's see. It was some spots up on the north side too. What was like I want to say it was a bar, and you could see right out the front, and then you do stand up, and behind you could see the cars riding past.
Do I know? I don't know if I know that.
It was in Wrigley. And then
not Shooters. No, it wasn't Shooters. It was I can't remember.
Yeah,
I remember from when I was there. The
hideout thing.
Yeah.
Coles. I spent a lot of time in Logan Square. I actually ended up moving to Logan Square. Coles, and we go across the street to Slippery Slopes, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Coles was when I was there. Sarah Sherman and Alex Cumin were the hosts.
Alex was in my class, so was Sarah. When I was there, it was Rebecca O'Neill. And I remember when Alex and Sarah took over, but I was on the way out. That was around the time, I remember when I used to go to Coles, I used to have to sign up. And that was around the time I didn't have to sign up no more. I walked in.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fuck?
Yes.
Walking in Coles at 3 minutes, you're like, Brandi, we're going to try to get you up. All right, I'm going to be OB.
So for the listeners, Coles was a bar, like a dive bar in Chicago, North Chicago, off Milwaukee. And the original setup when I started, I don't know about you, was you had to show up at like 5 or something and hang out like till like 9 o'clock. So you would rush from work, sign up. It'd be you and 8 other weirdos just like hanging out at this dark bar in the middle of the day on a Wednesday. And then like you could go home after like 9 and then come back or whatever. So either you do that or you show up late and get up at 2 a.m. in the morning. Like it was nasty. But it was for me, it's where I started, and it was a crowd every week. So you pull up, and even if you had no shows booked, you can do jokes in front of, for 4 minutes or whatever. In front
and
of
they would be there till
2:30
in the morning. It was always people there.
Easy. Yeah.
Is this
and that was like, I went last year back for work, and it's different, but it's still going.
Okay, cool.
It's a different little vibe, but it's still going. All right, so
Denny Love. That whole the Martin Luther I still could. Aaron Branch. I see them. I work with them and see them a lot in LA now, and I'm so proud of them. But they were definitely kind of like a class underneath me. But they still to me they're like little brothers, because it's probably it's like little brothers. But also, who else? Chris Redd.
Okay.
He put me in my first improv group. Me and Chris are close. And so yeah.
Yeah, I forgot Aaron and Denny were also Chicago people.
Yeah.
I missed them. I started and then COVID hit.
Good name. Because I went through the conservatory. I went through Second City. I went through the conservatory. When I first moved to Chicago, I was like the assistant to the diversity and outreach program. And so Chris Redd was on main stage, and I used to like bring them like fucking snacks. And I remember he was like, man, we about to go out. You want to go out? And I was like, yeah, I'll go out. And then like just started hanging out with the whole crew. And yeah.
But taking that job, did you know, like, but I'm trying to actually be on stage? You just took the job for
it was
comedy,
actually
or
an internship,
like...
so I got it, and I got to be able to go to classes for free.
Yeah.
It's a wild story. I applied for that when I was still in Tallahassee. I packed up my apartment. I did not know if I wasn't sure I was going to there was no thing that said you're going to get this. I packed up my apartment and moved to Chicago because I knew I was going to get it. And They only picked 10 people, and they didn't pick me. And let me tell you what I did. I had done a sketch, and it was wild because I was friends with George Clinton's videographer. And he had showed George Clinton some of my stuff. He said, "Oh, she's funny. If she ever want to shoot anything here, she can." The sketch I shot for Second City to get into that diversity program was shot in George Clinton's studio in Tallahassee, Florida. Crazy, right? Shot the sketch. George thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. My mom helped me I had like a Puma outfit. I was like supposed to be like something between like a tiger and a lion. I was like, my mom went to Michael's. I made this Puma costume.
Not the brand, but the animal.
The animal. And I was auditioning to be the Puma on the side of the shoe. That was the sketch.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm in there with a whole cat thing on. Like, yeah, I done called on the desk. I'm all licking the milk out the man. He's like, "Can you please get off my desk?" The sketch is still on YouTube. I think it might be private now. But yeah, everybody's like, "We love Puma Cat." So I go to Chicago, unpack my stuff, first day there, go up to Second City. I need to talk to y'all. They was like, "Well," I said, "I applied for the diversity program and I didn't get in, and I just want to know why."
No appointment. Just like, "What's up?"
I went into the diversity program and I talked to her actual assistant, and he said, "What's your name?" And I told him my name. He said, "Listen, I'm not supposed to tell you this." He said, "But you were one of the ones." She said she only wanted 2 people from out of state, and you were one of them. But Puma didn't give us enough money this year to fly people in. She said, "But we didn't know that you lived here." I said, "I don't live here. I just moved here because I wanted this." And he said, "Oh." Right. He said, "Well, let me set you up a meeting with her." I had a meeting with her. She said, "We don't have any more scholarships." She said, "But I could take you on as my intern and you could get all your classes for free." And that was Deanna Griffin's, and she's still over there. And thank you so much for that. Yeah.
That's crazy. Because in your brain, you never even thought of the other. You was like, "This is, fuck it. This is what it is."
I went to Chicago with $800, and I was like, they were like, "Why are you going to Chicago?" I was like, "Because I got a scholarship to go to Second City." The delusion is real.
But you need that, though. You need that healthy delusion to, like...
I really be saying stuff, and it be happening, and, like, it don't even be happening when I say... And it's like, are you just, like, preemptive or, like, a psychic liar? Because I just be saying shit, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it is.
I've been trying to get on my manifestation shit too this year. One of my a friend of mine I used to work for, Wheezy. She owns studios and has a podcast, Horrible Decisions. She's really good at just the manifesting thing. And I remember similar story, but just I watched it. I came to visit New York before I lived here, and she was opening up. She told me she was opening up this Pilates studio at Lower East Side. She was like, "Can you just take this bench there for me?" Because she was out of town. Mm-hmm. So I see the space. I'm like, it was, a shell of a space. It was nothing in it. I just put this shelf in and left. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? Like, how is this going to, in my head, I'm like, how is this going to, what is this? Like, she works out, but I'm like, what does this even mean? And then a year later, she opens up this spot called Trap House. And it's essentially Pilates with like trap music, like for black people.
I think I've heard of that in New York.
Yeah, and it's like she just manifested it. Like, yo, I go to Pilates every week. I want to have a space. I'm not necessarily a trainer myself, but I'm gonna surround myself. And she just is good at, like, if I think I want to do something and it fits me, I'm gonna fucking do it. And it just rubs off on me. Your story is similar in that way. But all right, so Chicago. When are you leaving Chicago? And is it to LA directly, or is it you ever make a stop between?
I went straight to LA. I actually. I was trying to decide between LA and New York. And it was funny because when I was leaving Florida, I was trying to decide between Chicago and LA. Never New York. I went to New York. I was like, there's too many people here. And it was like between Chicago and LA. And then Conan O'Brien, I read somewhere that Conan O'Brien said, I did so much research on stuff too. I just like,
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. That was crazy. Delete that. So,
delete.
No, Conan O'Brien said, if you want to get good at comedy, Chicago's the place you go to get your comedy wings. And so I ended up going to Chicago. And so the same thing kind of happened like, I was just weighing my options. I was like, oh, like, I know way more people in LA. You know what the turning point was for me? I remember it was March 17th. I want to say it was March 17th, mid-March, March 2017. Just Nisha got her 5-hour special with Kevin Hart. And she told me, she was like, girl, we got a special. And I said, what do you mean we got a special? She said, well, I got a special, but we got a special. And I said, fuck yeah, we got a special. And it meant so much to me. And I flew out to LA for the first time to watch her record that. And I sat in that theater and I saw her get a standing ovation. And I was damn near like crying. And I was just like, wow, this is so obtainable. And I decided at that moment that I was moving to LA, and I moved to LA 6 months later. And in between that time, I started going to LA once a month and just telling everybody I lived there. And then I was doing D. Ray's room. Real had vouched for me. I was doing chocolate sundaes already. And then like I had also had, I had done so much in Chicago when I came out there. It was just like, oh, you know, cool.
Yeah. And I know you've talked about it. I think you either talked about it on your special or in whatever. But that time when you first got there, you're like driving Uber and stuff, right? And like just hustling. What was that like? I want to understand like that time because you had that conviction, right? But I don't. I mean, you of course had some motion, but it's expensive as fuck to live in these cities. And like, what was that first couple years? And what was that first break? Like, was it the power? Was that the first kind of like big like credit, or what was like the first thing?
That was it. So if I'm being completely honest, I had a boyfriend, AKA a sugar daddy, that helped me move to Chicago. And then I don't know, he went and got another girl. He stopped paying my bills. And so I was like, damn.
He was in Chicago or he was in LA?
He was in Chicago.
Well, he knew you was leaving. That's why.
No, he would fly to Chicago and take me shopping and pay for my rent and pay for my rental car and pay for my stuff.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I had an allowance and everything.
What? How'd you meet him? Can you say?
I was at a comedy show at Zany's. He was in the front row on a date. Told me that he worked for something, and we exchanged numbers. And he started taking me to dinner. We was like my boyfriend. I stayed with him in Chicago for a little bit too. Okay. He was just significantly older, and I didn't know he was that much older until I accidentally saw his ID one day, and he like yelled at me. He did like this. He went, "Now why you looking at that? Everybody got IDs that say they older. It's better for business. Why would your ID be second? Why would you say
it's
that?
Better for what business?"
He's just saying like with business meetings and stuff, it's just better. Because I was like, what I was like, what? I ain't gonna say how old I was, but why? Sir,
I don't know one business is like.
I also, I was staying at the penthouse at the Beverly Wilshire. I said, okay, what the fuck?
Right? Yeah.
Whatever.
That's fire.
But he also looked good. He also looked good. He didn't look old. He's in shape.
No, everybody needs a little bit of a sugar mama daddy run. I'm jealous, to be honest.
So even when I got Power, I remember the night or that week that it had aired, I was still driving Uber, and I remember thinking it like once it came out, it was on for like a couple of days. I said, "Oh yeah, I got to stop doing this," and so I stopped. But before it, after I had filmed and everything, I was still doing it. I was driving like 60 hours a week. I wasn't really doing stand up. I did that for about 4 months because I was trying to save up to get into my own place, and so that worked.
Gotcha. Where were you staying? Before that? Before you got your own spot?
I was staying with, I had a roommate situation. Me and her got into it because she tried to like give away a movie idea to like some way bigger comics. And they told me about it. I confronted her about it. And she was like, you need to get out.
She was a comedian too?
No, she wasn't even a comedian. She just she worked on the branding, marketing side of things.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so I was sleeping on my friend's couch for like 4 months and driving Uber. Because I look back on that and people make excuses all the time. I wasn't doing stand-up. I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and driving 12 to 14 hours a day. Like, I was like, I'm not going home. And Power, I had already filmed Power. And Power was, about to come out, but I didn't have the money. And I remember that was like the house that everybody kind of stopped through. I remember at one point I was staying there because it was some comedians and they toured a lot. So they was like, when they found out I got put out, it was like, you could stay here. You're not problematic, whatever. So whenever they would go on tour, I would sleep in a room. And I remember one time I was staying there And it was a couple of days where Teddy Ray had came and crashed on the couch. And me and Teddy Ray was displaced at one point. And so it was nice, I want to say in like 2021, I had gotten my first series regular. I'm making like hella bread. I really got like a dope ass luxury apartment. We were at the Dime. It was like me, Sam J, Chinadu, Jess Niche, fucking Chinadu, Jess Niche, Edite, Teddy. Everybody came to my house. Chinadu was DJing. And I remember standing on my balcony overlooking the pool and like this dope ass spot. I had an interior designer and interior decorator and everything. My shit's laid the fuck out. So I got I'm sitting there outside with Teddy. He's smoking a blunt. And I was like, nigga, this is real different from that couch. I was like, It's like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I was so happy. Out of everybody being there, I was so happy for Teddy to see it.
Right. Because you saw that. Y'all shared that moment.
Or, you know, we on the couch like, I don't even think that apartment had no running water sometimes. I used to have to go downstairs and take showers. We was stuck
usually in the spot like Ghost looking over the club. Like,
nah, for real, yeah. I remember he went outside and he was like, hey, B, I'm proud of you. He's like smoking. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, and look at this and look at that. I'm like, hell yeah. So we got a movie theater in here. I was so excited.
Damn, man. Rest in peace, man. That's crazy. So throughout this time, I was married when I first started comedy and
what?
Path. Yeah, you know that?
That makes sense. You seem like a husband. You just seem like a husband.
How so?
I don't know. That's a good thing. Some men just seem like a husband. You seem like you got a good character. Good character about you.
It's all right. I got a little something. Nothing crazy. But I was married at one point. Now, so my introduction was different.
I was like asking you questions. She was like, I ain't doing that.
What happened?
That Second City party? Never mind.
Oh, what did I do?
You didn't do nothing. I was surprised you didn't do nothing.
Oh, with the shorties?
Yeah, with the girls. It was girls all around.
Well, that was my next point. Is I did it when I first got single in LA. I did the whole dating comedians or how not, you know what I'm saying, hooking up with comedians, whatever. But I've since I don't know. I can't remember the last comedian that I really have like dated and or like fucked to be honest. But I want to know your like
more questions about this marriage. So how long were you married? How old were you when you got married? And what made you get married? And was it like religion? Was she pregnant? What happened? No, so
I was never a relationship person. Like in high school, college, I never was in a committed relationship ever. So by the time I was 23, I was like, I should probably try this once or twice at least. So we met. It was homecoming. We came back. It was an alpha party or whatever, homecoming. And we met. She went to Duke, but she was AKA. So we met, and I then moved to San Francisco. It was long distance. And then I moved to Chicago because she was going to grad school in Chicago. And we just moved in. That was a mistake in general, just moving in with somebody that, I mean, we had been dating for a year, but from a long distance to moving in is like kind of crazy in retrospect. And then, yeah, just like once you're already in it, at that young age, you're already in it. Then I was like in sales. So I was like making good money. I've had the reverse of your life of like good money. Then I became broke very fast. So like I'm 25, 26, making six figures. I'm like, oh, it's lit. Like, sure, I don't mind. And it just kind of made sense. But then after that, it was like you realize you're actually not for each other in the way that you think because you're different. You know, you meet somebody I was 23 when we met. So, and she was even younger. So it's like, we're not the same people. I started as I was like a sales person in tech and we divorced. I'm like a comedian that like produces.
Big difference.
It's different. It's hard to be with somebody like that, to be honest. But so yeah, it wasn't really like a religious, I mean, I think going to school down south, we had other homies and friends that were in relationships that were having kids. My parents had me when they were young. Like my mom had me when she was 21 or something. My dad was like 25. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't even like, oh, like I'm doing something out of the ordinary. I still had a job and was responsible, but like it just was, I was rushing for no reason, to be honest with you. But going back to the comedian thing, do you date comedians? Have you dated comedians? I need to know your political stance on dating comedians.
No, I've never dated any comedians ever. Never will. If they say that I did, they're lying.
Okay.
If anybody says they date me, I've never even had an ex-boyfriend, so everybody's lying. And I would not date any comedians. I prefer not to. At this point, baby, I'm grown. I'm like, I don't even want to date no creatives because why is my creative? I'm creative. I'm creative for both of us.
What's the? Are you single or no?
I am.
Okay. I mean,
that wasn't on purpose. I was like, "Where's the microphone? I need to clear my throat." I'm like, I am single, but that wasn't a joke. I was just clearing my throat at that particular time. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to assume. So why not creatives? Is it like a personality thing or a lifestyle thing, or like what's the pluses and minuses?
And not even to be funny, but the best way I could look at it is a long time ago, my friend, really good friend, comedian, actress Kelly Howard had said something to me before that the way her marriage works, and she has an amazing husband named Mike Jew, who is creative, but creative in a different way. You know, he does design, website design, photography, videography, stuff like that. So not public facing. He's behind the camera. But one of the things she told me was that the way their dynamic works is that she is the engine. And as much as like everybody around her is, she's the star of the house. Sure. And they're the people in the house, or their family dynamic is built to support that engine, because that engine is the one, the big umbrella for everybody. And I think for me, I would like to have that type of framework where it's like, and I feel like with the creative, it would be like, well, we're both the umbrellas. And it's like, it's not, I'm the umbrella. And I don't feel like this, I don't think that that's wrong for me to say, because I don't think I'm not forcing men to be with me and be like, you're the star, but I want my partner to look at me as that. And also not to say that he could be playing basketball, starting a business, doing whatever the fuck he's doing. But in my mind, I want that to be recognized, and I don't want to have to dim or lessen or be like, oh, well, actually it's him. Like, no, it's me. Right. And I feel like even with the Clay, Meg Thee Stallion and Clay, you could see that in their dynamic where he's like, I am who I am, but she is her.
Right. In separate lanes.
She is a huge, amazing, phenomenal. And I just don't want to have to compete with my partner. And I want him to know that I am that. And it's okay with him doing that. That's the thing that he loves about me. That's what he loves about me. He would never want to take it away. He would never want to lessen it. And it's like, oh, Brandy's doing festivals and she's winning Emmys and stuff. And he's not like, well, I didn't win an Emmy. And why aren't you winning? It's like, I'm bringing this home to us. This is for all of us. Somebody that I could obtain these beautiful, amazing things with, and they're happy because they know that they're a part of it. They're not so insecure that they feel like it's a thing against them.
Yeah, I see that. I
explain that right without sounding.
No, you did. No, you did perfectly, because it is. I feel like a lot of dudes, we can be very insecure about stuff like that. Like your shorty's maybe doing better than you, or you're not doing as well, or you're doing better and you want to make sure you stay doing better, and you don't want to be overshine. And it sometimes can be a blow as a dude if your shorty is doing better than you, whether it financially or popularity or whatever. And I feel like it takes a real specific person to be okay with that. I feel like
Oprah and Stedman. It's a specific type of man. Every man can't do that. He's never tried to be like, well, Oprah, I need to be doing like she's Oprah.
Yeah. Right.
You have Oprah.
Yeah.
That might be your biggest thing. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
That's a fact. It's intoxicating, though.
Even with Obama, I feel like even if he wasn't who he was, he would still be right there holding her up for who she is.
Yeah, but I feel like, to your point, though, she had to take the back seat for a minute so he could be the president. And she was a boss in her own. Like, she was better than she was above him at the law firm, I think, when they first met. So like, she had to make significant sacrifices, like raise kids and shit, so he could be, and it worked out because he became the president. But that is like a significant sacrifice to be like, even though I'm extremely able, I'm going to take a step back from my person because we can't really do it at the same I don't know. It's tough. I feel like for me, it's intoxicating to be with a comedian because y'all have the same, very usually, like the sentiments, or you can like get along. You can usually banter about shit. If something's going wrong, you can usually complain and bitch to them. It's like most of us can be friendly, but I think when it's bad, it gets really bad because then also this is your coworker and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm trying to your point about the party. I've been trying to be good about like, you know what? Let me not try to slide on somebody right now because it's my coworker. I can't be fucking coworkers like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a very good thing. Also, I'm just more protective at this stage and where I'm at right now of my energy, who I let around. Okay. Also, I know that I come with a lot of dope things. I'm a dope individual personally, but also just creative wise. I have connections, but also like my mind is crazy. Like I'm really good at putting shit together. And so I can't be giving everybody that type of space and energy. You know, everybody is not worthy of that. So I'm just.
So what's it like? He could be like an accountant. Could he be like a regular job? Like, hey, I'm just an accountant. Or like, does he have to be some kind of creative in a way? Or it must is like a strong.
The main thing for me is it doesn't matter what the job is. If you're able to, it matters in the sense of like, I would like him to be able to buy me things and like, you know, take care of things. And I want to go on dates and things. I do nice things for myself. I want my husband to pay for a spa day. Not even my husband, my boyfriend. Like, hey, you having a hard day today? Like, let me buy you breakfast. Or I was dating a guy who was an entrepreneur. I've been on this thing now where I'm dating intentionally. And so just this year alone, I probably dated like 4 or 5 guys. So
intentionally or no?
No, intentionally. Not all of them had multiple dates. I think I've gone out with 5 men so far this year. Not all of them have had multiple dates, but some have. And some I went on one date with and I was like, no, but they're all kind of like in this space in life where they want to be a husband, are able to provide it's like certain preliminary things that you just have to hit. So some of them are like business owners, some of them are homeowners. I'm talking to one right now. I'm actually really excited to meet him. He's a mental health therapist.
Okay.
And our conversations just seem very like intellectually stimulating. I like that. And so just somebody, the main thing is you have to love your passion because it's so hard to be with somebody who's not somebody, because women will walk around all day not knowing what the fuck they want to do or what they can do. But it's really hard to be with a man who's not fulfilled within his passion. There's like, I feel like that's something that a man has to find and feel first before he can exert external happiness to other people. You got to find that within yourself because there's so much pressure put on men to be like, who are you? Who are you? What are you? What are you? What are you doing? Are you a provider? Are you this? If you don't even have your own like internal compass set, you can't come into my life and disturb mine. You got to go figure that out.
I agree, especially if you're of a certain age. You know, you're 23, 24, it's like whatever. But you 30, 33, I'm 33. It's like, you know, I live by myself, and that's great, but it's like,
I know.
What else?
I talk about you rich all the time. You got an apartment you can see out your window. You got a window in New York.
Courtney replied, I posted something about this espresso machine I bought. She replied, she's like, oh, you got towel? I'm like, it's one corner of tile. There's 4 tiles in this little whole ass corner. I don't have.
Every time he posts his apartment, I'm like, oh shit, what's that? A light switch?
Yeah, right. It's like I can turn the lights on and off.
Because I'm telling you, my expectations for New York is just like a 0. Okay, so anytime you got books in the back. What's that? The Artist Way. Look, you got shit going on over there.
That's so funny. It's a ground unit though. I'm on the floor, so you know.
I know you told me before. You talking about people walk past. I'm like, yeah, that's entertainment, free entertainment.
That is entertainment. What's the flavor of the month right now when it comes to like career stuff? Like, I mean, you had a Hulu special last year. You're in Vegas now doing shows. Is it the priority touring? Is it more acting? I know you were here for I think New York Comedy Fest doing some improv stuff. Like, what excites you about your career right now?
You know, that's funny because I took this time to actually make sure that this year I was actually doing things that, obviously I'm doing stuff like this to pay my bills, but doing the things that really fulfill me, the things that I want to produce, the things I want to see. So I just finished a script. God If you hear me, we gonna start pitching it next month. I just finished the script. I'm working on another project.
Feature or
a limited series, maybe a series, but limited series. And so that, and then I've been having really good auditions, really like leads for like movie stuff. Like really, I ain't got nothing, but just the fact that I'm in these rooms. So it's just like the thing. It's just like I'm making sure that I'm in LA more. And in doing that, I had to like downsize the way I was living. Like I had to get like out of my luxury apartment. I got into like a smaller apartment. I live closer to LAX. It's just like the things is I'm like, oh, I want to stay here. But when I was paying 2 mortgages damn near for that apartment, I had to be on the road. I had to stay on the road. And now I don't have to be on the road. And so I did all of this intentionally. I just moved into this new place. I was like, I'm not going to go out as much. Things out here I want to create. And then sketchy behavior, obviously. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if I could be, and this is a dating podcast, if I could be more transparent, just having the time and the space and also the energy to invest in actually like dating and really, really trying to find my person.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
That's a struggle for me.
That's
a struggle for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm, of course, steps below you in my career, but like trying to build it, especially in New York, you know, LA is a little bit different where there's not always something crazy going on every single night. But like New York City, you should and could be doing comedy, something adjacent every single night. Even if you're not booked, you go, I mean, last night I was visited the cellar just to hang and saw people and then went to another show before that. It's like that. And that's sometimes just as important as doing a random bad spot in a corner somewhere is like going to see people and say, what's up? So like when you're trying to date, it's like either I'm leaving for work, like my day job, or going to see a shorty or something. It's like, I'm gone for 3 days. I might get 2-3 DMs like, hey, are you around? Like, you want to do a spot real quick? And if I'm not there, it's like you get forgotten, or it's like, well, he's not serious. He's not even in town. And like that happens so fast. And it happened to me like last week. I'm like, I gotta be in New York, dog. If I'm gonna be here paying this rent and paying for these little 4 tiles and whatever, I gotta be in the city. I gotta be out. I gotta be available. And dating is like to sacrifice a night for like sometimes a stranger or something you're getting to know. It can be tough, but you got to do it because you can't be by yourself for your whole life.
I think too, I agree. And I up until this year, I always dated outside of LA. I was dating somebody in DC. I was dating somebody in Texas. I was like just dating somebody in Atlanta. And now I made my decision this year. I said, he's here. He got to be here because I'm not getting on another motherfucking plane to go find my motherfucking man. He got to be here. This is where I'm at. This is where this is where I'm building my life. And this is just what it is.
Yeah.
And I was like,
these like in real life people, or these apps people, what do you mean though?
Some people in real life, some people on the apps. I think the apps, I haven't been on the apps in years, but for me in this season, it's actually a little bit easier and cleaner because I know what my non-negotiables are and I can get straight to what I'm after. It's certain things. Like if you have a dog anywhere in your pictures, I'm swiping. I don't care who you are. You can be my
anti-dog.
Dog, no. Because I know, you know, dog people are different.
Yeah.
Their dogs are, they you know, and then that, or even if you have like kids, typically, it depends on the other things that you have going on. But if you're like, oh, I got kids, my first question is why you're not with the mother, and my second question is how old are they?
Yeah.
So and then also
the younger the worse.
Like figuring things out or this, I'm like, no, I'm looking for a long-term committed monogamous relationship. Are you on the same page? And if you have any type of hesitation or that makes you feel uncomfortable, I'm like, okay, you out of there. Because a man who wants that knows that he wants that, and it's not scary that a woman's saying they want that.
2 questions. Is the kid being younger or older better or worse? Like, is it one direction better or worse?
Older. I don't want to date nobody with no kids under 7.
14 is like, he'll be out here.
You got to do too much with it.
Got you. And what was the second question? I can't remember.
Was it
the dog? Either something about the apps. I can't remember. The apps or the dogs? Reluctantly, yeah, because a lot of shorties have dogs. That's like a thing now. A lot of shorties have some kind of cat, dog. It's kind of hard. I dated a shorty with 2 cats. That was crazy. Because I'm I can tolerate dogs. I hate cats. She had 2 cats, and I was like, this is the nastiest shit I've ever been a part of. And she wasn't nasty at all, but just like the seeing like animals, I just was uneasy. You know, when you're on an animal you don't like, you just get it's like it's not. I get nervous. I feel like he's gonna kill me. I don't, you know.
Yeah, it's just I'm not. And
like the animals,
you know, if it's not a match, it's not a match. But yeah, animals is not a thing for me. Maybe we got something together, but it would still take a lot. I think the only way I would get an animal is if I had a kid and they wanted an animal, and at that point they would have to take care of the animal because I don't want to take care of an animal.
Right. What's the age range ish? Are you strict about like a range or like life? I mean, I know you said lifestyles, I think, but is it like a?
I would say for me, probably. No, not age range isn't too crazy. It really is just about like where you are, and what you have. You know, I don't think I would want to go over 45 though.
Sure.
And I would not go under 32.
Okay.
So I just think it's just, you know.
I was talking to somebody about this last night where like me 33, I feel like the youngest I could date, like seriously, is probably like 26, youngest. And I think even 26 would be tough. Realistically, like 28. And I say that because of the like cultural, like I feel like my age, we kind of like reach up culturally from what we consume media wise. Like I relate to a 40-year-old more than I relate to a 26-year-old culturally. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we went to college you went to college in COVID. Like what are we going to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. That's nasty.
You don't know what a college party is.
Right. Exactly. So I don't know how.
What's your age up? What's your age up?
Realistically, probably like 40. I could do 40. There's some bad 40-year-olds out here that's like, I dated some like, are you 40? That's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of my friends are in that season. I'm gonna be real with you. Typically, I date younger. I think I've only went out. Only one of the guys I've gone out with this year was actually older than me, and it just felt so like in my face, like, oh shit, you like usually like he's like, oh this party crunk. I'm like,
yeah, slacks on and hard bottoms.
And so it's funny because I think like I feel like I'm not gonna say my age because I don't like to talk about it because I don't like to like focus on that. But the thing is, it's just like I feel like I don't even. Out of all my friends, I still feel younger than my friends. We're all the same age, but I feel like the more, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one like teaching them like the words and shit like that. And so it is harder sometimes to date a little bit older and then, you know.
I think it's lifestyle. I think it's to your point about like the taking care of yourself physically and shit. Like, I feel good at my age where, you know, I my shirt off or naked or whatever, I gotta go run something. I don't feel like I've just lost a crazy step. And I think that's from taking care of yourself. For some people, it's not a priority at all. But this has been fun. I like to ask at the end of this podcast, what do you love to see? And that can be anything. It can be people, it can be media, it can be a theme. What do you love to see?
And this is the first thing that comes to my head, because I saw it. I'll say two things. So this is the first thing that came in my head. Okay, I have two. I love to see Black dads with their children.
Okay.
I love to see that. And then the other thing, when I'm on stage, there's a look sometimes when I could look at people and I could see the way that they're looking at me. And it's just like, it's such a huge look of admiration. And I've been seeing, I saw it a couple times this, while I was here in Vegas, and they are locked in. And it's just like, and it's like, I'm like, damn, this is nice. This is nice. This feels good. Yeah. Like just, just a smile, just, I have no idea what they're thinking, but I feel good. You know what I'm
I get that moment.
You know that look?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. No, I get that when I usually will go high and low a lot. Like I'll fast and then I'll slow down and I'll really get low. And then, you know that you're on stage and you like kind of disassociate from your jokes, but you're like, oh, I'm on stage. I forgot. Like people are staring at me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You're like having an inner monologue. You're saying the words, but also you're looking at the people and you're just like, damn, they really like, and it's almost and I'll say this too, because I'm the only Black female on the show too, but it's a thing. It's such a sweet space for me to feel, because most of these shows are not Black people. Like the audiences aren't Black. And so it makes me feel very seen, because I'm talking about things from my life and it's not things that they typically experience. And so it just makes me feel seen, and then like not just a Black person, but just like a person that they just really either admire or find really entertaining. And I feel like it just kind of strips away like, you know, the microaggressions and stuff that I've been feeling a lot. And so just seeing those faces on stage and just, I'm like, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah, that is the best. Especially when you're like in a moment of silence where it's like, oh, it's quiet in here, because they're listening, they're admiring, they're like waiting for you to say the thing. Mm-hmm. And that's usually when that moment happens where I'm like, oh, I gotta speak again. They're legitimately, it was loud, now it's silent. Yeah, are you waiting? My fault. You know, it's a crazy little feeling, but I love it.
That's hilarious.
That's the best. What I mean, I don't want to say what else you got to promote, but is there something that we should look out for?
Oh yeah, that's what I forgot to say. So listen, guys, if you have a podcast app or anything, I am on this scripted podcast written and produced and directed by Tim Barnes. He didn't produce it. Okay. He wrote and directed. He's a Chicago guy. Mm-hmm. He came out in my class. He was also a writer for the Jimmy Fallon for years. He lives in New York, but he wrote and produced it, and is starring me, Langston Kerman, Bashir from Southside. It's narrated by Amber Ruffin, and George Wallace is on it. And it's so funny. I listened to it on my drive here. It's 8 episodes. I listened to 7. I'm about to listen to the last one now because I didn't listen to the last one yet. But it's so funny. It's called Judge Travis.
And where is it at?
It's on all places you could listen to podcasts. It's called Judge Travis. And it's let's give you a little snippet. So you know how they have like the judge shows? It's basically like, imagine if Steve Harvey was a judge of a show, but they had a camera crew following him around. And so they got all these audio tapes of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And it's great.
Okay.
Yeah. I play the bailiff, Bashir plays the judge, and Langston plays the producer of the show.
Oh, that sounds fire. Okay.
It's so funny.
A little bit of were you ever on that show, Chicago? Or not Chicago, Southside, I mean.
No. It's such a great show, though. I'm so proud of it.
That was such a good.
What was the show like? Wasn't it like Behind the Sports, like a Larry show or something like that?
Larry David, or
it was some kind of show. Like it's kind of like
I know you're talking about HBO. It was Larry something. It was something.
But it's like behind the scenes of a court show, and then we go into the court cases, and it's just it's fun. We talking shit. It's great.
That's fire. Have you done something like that before? That seems like a cool, different medium to dig into, like an audio space.
I haven't, but I had such a good time doing it because the amount of freedom they gave me when I was recording, I didn't know until I worked with Bashir, and he was just going off the rails. I said, this motherfucker's tagging this shit up. And then when I recorded with him, I was like, oh yeah, I like this. I like it a lot. It's so fun to hear my voice and like hear like me walking down the hall with the keychains and stuff. It reminds me of like, do you remember when they used to do like Tom Joyner morning show and they would have like these little the little stage like play audio plays? It reminds me of that, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool.
Tom Joyner. Did they even have those shows anymore? Like morning. I mean, they have morning shows, but like that genre. Like who's the new Tom Joyner? Is it Steve? Is it Steve still have the show?
It's and Nephew Tommy and them. Does this show still come out?
Oh, Ricky Smiley.
And Steve Harvey.
Yeah. I guess this is hard to beat.
Strawberry Letter. I used to listen to that with the Strawberry Letter. And now let me tell you, you said your man ain't got no food.
Got your ass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Now Steve.
Yeah, right.
Now Steve.
Because he would take a deep breath like, Now this dusty heifer. It's like, damn, it's 8:30 in the morning. Why you call this old lady a heifer? Like this, now your raggedy ass. It's like, can you say that on the radio? You know? Well, Brandy, thank you so much for doing Dated. I appreciate you. You're always a pleasure to see in the wild, and hopefully next time you're in New York we can kick it, or next time I'm in LA we can kick it, and we'll see y'all next time.